her. Dear students, Jai Hind and very good morning. Welcome back. As you all know, you we are explaining today one important topic in chapter number 7, understanding the shapes. Okay, in this particular chapter, we have already attended 15 lectures, and in all these lectures you have been given idea regarding quadrilateral, the general properties. Then you are given idea about important properties of parallelogram, though we proved it with the help of some of the theorems. Then we gave you idea regarding important properties of rectangle, and then if you can remember and remind, we have been discussing in our last lecture very important in fact in last two lectures very important properties of rhombus. Before we start today's lecture, first what is important for us is to just remind those properties which we have already discussed regarding rhombus. But before that, the title of the chapter, as you know, chapter number 7, title of the chapter, understanding shapes. Okay, understanding shapes, and today you are attending in this particular chapter lecture number 16. Okay, what is our target in today's lecture is that you have been explained some of the important properties of rhombus. Understand, to just list out those important properties of rhombus, let us just mention them. Okay, for rhombus, which are those important properties of rhombus we know, understand, and some of the properties of rhombus we have already applied in solving examples. Today we are again going to learn some more application of properties of rhombus. The first one, if I just list out, what is that? Opposite sides are parallel. You just also make a note of this. Opposite sides of rhombus are parallel. That's the properties similar to rectangle and parallelogram. In parallelogram also opposite sides are parallel. In rectangle also opposite sides are parallel. In rhombus also opposite sides are parallel. Next, all sides are equal. Understand? All sides are equal. I may utilize somewhere word congruent also. That implies the same meaning. Either you speak all sides are equal or you speak all sides are congruent conveys the same meaning. This property marks the difference between parallelogram, rectangle and rhombus. In parallelogram and rectangle, opposite sides are equal. Here, all sides are equal. Understood? The third property you all know, diagonals bisect each other. Diagonals bisect each other at 90 degree. That means, to speak it in other word, I can say diagonals bisect each other perpendicularly conveys the same meaning. This is also the property contrast to parallelogram and rectangle. In parallelogram and rectangle, diagonals bisect each other definitely, but not perpendicularly. Diagonal does not. Diagonal in parallelogram and rectangle only bisect each other. This is a contrasting fact that diagonals bisect each other perpendicularly. Understood? And the last property to list out for rhombus, this is diagonals. This is very important property which today we are going to utilize in solving some of the example which involves finding angles in rhombus. Okay, what is the fourth property? Diagonals, if you can remember, bisect. Diagonals bisect the angles through which it passes. You understood this? This is the property which we proved in our lecture number 15 in terms of one theorem. What is this property suggest? That every diagonal in rhombus, as you know, passes through two opposite angles. And the mean to say is that diagonal bisect the angles through which it passes. Means suppose diagonal AC, it is passing through angle A and C, it is going to bisect angle A and angle C. Diagonal BD, obviously diagram is in front of you, will pass through angle B and angle D, and it will definitely bisect angle B and angle D. You understood this? So this is a very important property which we are going to apply today in solving some of the very important examples of rhombus. Our target today is this particular property because rest of the properties and their application you are already been explained. Now today our target is to just apply this particular property in solving examples of rhombus. Okay, note down with me today example number 1. Okay, and we are going to utilize the fourth property, that diagonal bisect the angles through which it passes. How the example is given. Okay, just write down, if one of the, giving you enough time to write the sum in your book, if one of the angle formed by, just note down with me, if one of the angles formed by diagonals and adjacent sides. What is the sum is about? If one of the angles formed by diagonals and adjacent sides of a rhombus is 20°, okay, then find all angles. This is the example. Okay, first looking and reading at the example and observing the data given, it looks little first difficult for us every student to just analyze what is actually given in the data. That is first very important thing to understand, that when you want to represent the given data in format of diagram where you will show 20°. So here see, they have made it clear, one of the angles formed by diagonals and adjacent sides of a parallelogram is 20°. And then you have to look for all the angles. Okay, so very important thing first is to just represent in the form of diagram the given data. Okay, let us try it out. First, as usual, we will draw a diagram of rhombus. Okay, this is rhombus ABCD. When not mentioned, we customary always take as ABCD. Rhombus ABCD. How can you represent the given angle? Suppose, dear student, you need to understand this in this way. Suppose I draw one diagonal, suppose. So I have to show 20-degree here. You understood this? This is the meaning of this. This is adjacent side, this is diagonal. This is adjacent side, this is diagonal. Even you can mention here also diagonal and adjacent side, diagonal and adjacent side. Anywhere you can mention 20 degrees. So very important thing first is you just show in the diagram. Okay, this is what we just presented, the given data in diagram. What we are looking for, all the angles, angle A, angle B, angle C and angle D. We are looking to find all the angles. So now, dear student, how this fourth property comes to our help. Very first thing, what this property suggests, diagonals bisect the angle through which it passes. Here I have shown diagonal BD, which is definitely bisecting angle B and angle D. So obviously you can understand that half of the angle is 20, so the whole angle will be 40 degree. You understood this, right? You do not need to mention this fact. When you really solve the example, you can directly write this way in, we are solving the example now. What you can write in rhombus ABCD. Dear student, you can directly write this way: a measure angle B equal to 2 into 20, that is 40 degree. Okay, so you got angle B first. Angle B is 40 degree now. Is it clear? Because diagonal bisect the angle through which it passes. Now, dear student, it becomes easy for you to just guess both the angle by just, even if you just go for treating in this way, that this is 20, so this is also 20. If you just think of parallel side and alternate angle, then also you can get both these angles now. Understood? Suppose you write this way, just take an example. AB parallel to CD. That's why, dear student, these two angle, just think of this, just think the inverted Z shape, ABDC. So these two are going to be alternate angle. So you can mention measure angle ABD equal to measure angle BDC. In bracket, what you will write? Alternate angles. Okay. I speak the name of this angle A, B, D. Name of this angle B, D, C. Alternate angle formed by parallel side. Therefore, measure angle BDC equal to 20. Similarly, dear student, you can mention AD parallel to BC. Once I write, I will show you here AD parallel to BC will again form another pair of alternate angle. To just pick the name of this angle in Z formation, can you speak this angle ADB, angle DBC, alternate angle, you can mention this way. Therefore, measure angle ADB equal to measure angle DBC. You do not have to write the reason again and again because they are alternate angle. Therefore, measure angle BDC. Measure angle ADB, BDC to given, is 20 degree. Now, dear student, understood? Both these angles are 20, 20, so this becomes 40 degree. I just continue the sum here. Okay, first let us continue here. Measure angle D equal to 20 plus 20, okay, that means 40 degree. So you got angle D also, you understood? Both the angles you got. Angle A, angle B, you already got 40 degree. Angle D, you got 40 degree. Now it's a question of finding rest of the two angles, that is angle A and angle C. Now try to understand one very important fact, that in every quadrilateral except trapezium, pair of adjacent angles are always supplementary, that you know. So A and B as well as B and C, C and D, D and A, whatever you can take, A and B are going to be supplementary angles. So should I write this way? Measure angle A plus measure angle B equals to 180. Measure angle A, B, that is 40, equal to 180. So measure angle A equal to 180 minus 40, that is 140 degree. Okay, dear student. So you got angle A is 140 degree. Similarly, you can take B and C also, because they are also making adjacent pair of angle which are supplementary. So 40 plus measure angle C equal to 180. So measure angle C equal to 180 minus 40. This is 140 degree. So dear student, in this way you got all four angles stood, and after you get all four angles understood, just during the exam, even at last you don't mention, but at least underline in this way in between the sum. First you got measure angle B, then you got measure angle D, then you got measure angle A, then you got measure angle C. This way at least just highlight and underline so that anybody who is checking your example can directly see the four angles found out by you. Or even if you at last mention, okay, therefore measure angle B equal to 40, measure angle D equal to 40, measure angle A equal to 140, measure angle C equal to 140, then also it's okay. So this is the way we have solved this particular example. So make one thing very clear, just to have a look at the way we solve this example. See, first I told you very important is to understand the given data, where to show 20 degree. That's very important for you. You understood this? It has been given that one of the angle formed by diagonal and adjacent side. This is diagonal, this is adjacent side. So we show 20 here. You may have show 20 here. Anywhere you can show. In maths, don't stick to the fact in that way that you are not able to find any alternative method. You should be very sure about. So this was 20. Then we utilized the fact which was that diagonals bisect the angle through which it passes. So if this is 20, obviously it is half of the angle B. So if you think reverse, angle B will be double of this. So this is 40. Then we thought of two parallel side, and because of the parallel side alternate angle, you got 20 20, and then add them you got D. Then as you know, adjacent angles are supplementary. A plus B equal to 180, B plus C equal to 180, and you can get the rest of the angle. Before we go for another little difficult example which is also going to utilize the same property of rhombus, first you just have a look and verify the sum properly. First, you need to have a look at the sum, and then we are going for another difficult example. Understood? Okay? Is it clear in your mind? Let us go for another example. Now I am erasing this because you know which property we are going to apply in solving all examples which we are going to discuss today. Okay? Just note down the another sum where also the same properties are to be applied. Okay? Let us note down that sum. Okay? Just note down the sum. It is like this. Example number 2. This is also like I told you in the previous sum. It is important to understand what is given in the data that counts much. What is the sum is about? Just write down. If one of the diagonal, this is the sum is about. If one of the diagonals of a rhombus, if one of the diagonals of a rhombus is, just note down the sum. If one of the diagonals of a rhombus is equal to its sides, then find all angles. Just first understand the given data. Before you solve the sum, it's very important to understand the given data. What is given in the data, that you first need to understand. Nowhere they have mentioned in this particular example any numerical values. There in the previous example they have mentioned already. Understood? But here they haven't mentioned any numerical values, but they have indirectly given one of the angle already. Indirectly they have given already value of one of the angle, and that you have to be sure about. Understand? And indirectly the value of one angle is given, that you have to gather from the given data. What is said? If one of the diagonals of a rhombus is equal to its sides, then find all angles. I want you, before I really solve the example here, I want to just give you a little time for stimulating your brain. Are you able to get and gather some data, or are you able to guess what could be the measure of one of the angle? I am just giving you 2 minutes stimulation on your part. Then we will definitely solve this particular example here. Okay, your time starts now. Start thinking, draw diagram. Okay, and then we will solve the same example here. At least you have to guess about one of the angle. Understand, that's very important, and that can be obtained from this data. If one of the diagonals of a rhombus is equal to its sides, then find all the angles. Just use, apply your brain, stimulate your mind, and try to solve if you can. Just 2 minutes time to stimulate your brain and understand this sum. Okay, just try it out. 2 minutes time for you to solve this example. Just think of it. If you can. Okay, have you thought of this example? Let me do it for you. Understand, that's simple brain stimulation. Suppose, dear student, draw a rhombus ABCD. Let us try to understand the data for you. Now suppose this is a rhombus given to us. Okay, suppose I mention the name rhombus ABCD. Now dear student, try to understand the data. What they have given, one of the diagonal is equal to its. Suppose I draw diagonal AC, it is equal to its side. That means, dear student, I have to mention this way. One of the diagonal is equal to its side. So I definitely have to mention this way. Now it's a guessing factor, and just the check of the basics of previous standard. See what I am writing now. We are starting the sum here in here in rhombus ABCD, you have to mention the fact AC equal to AB equal to BC. Any guess? If you just think of this triangle, if you just think of triangle ABC, all three sides are equal. So it is going to be an equilateral triangle, and hence equiangular triangle where all angles are equal means 60, 60, 60 degree. Okay. So what we are writing now, therefore triangle ABC is an equilateral triangle. Triangle ABC is an equilateral triangle. Therefore, triangle ABC is equiangular triangle also. Equiangular triangle. When you say that triangle ABC is equiangular, that means all angles are equal, and that means all angles are 60 degree. You understood this? All angle will be 60 degree. Is it clear in your mind? Okay, you can mention this way. Therefore, measure angle B. How can you name this angle BAC? This is ACB equal to measure angle BAC. You need to mention equal to measure angle ACB equal to 60 degree. So dear student, one angle you already got, B. Now your target is to get angle A and angle C. Now again the fourth property of rhombus will come to our help, that diagonal bisect the angle through which it passes. So when you say that BAC is 60, so A is obviously double than that. So you can mention, dear student, measure angle A equal to 2 into measure angle BAC you mention. Okay. That means 2 into 60, this is 120 degree. So you got A as 120 degree. Diagonal AC also bisect angle C. So this angle ACB double than that is angle C. So you can mention measure angle C equal to 2 measure angle ACB 2 into 60 degree, that is 120 degrees. So you got this angle also, dear student. So just try to understand. You got angle A, you got angle B, you got angle C. Now rest is the angle D, which is adjacent, which is making adjacent pair with either A or C. So you can mention this way. And now just look at the sum here. What you can mention? Measure angle A plus measure angle D equals to 180 degree. What is A already? 120 degree plus measure angle D equals to 180 degree. Just transfer measure angle D equal to 180 minus 120. It turns out to be 40 degree. So you got D also as 40 degree. As you got all the angles, you just need to, when you solve the sum, underline measure angle B, we got 60 degree. Measure angle A, you got 120 degree. Measure angle C, you got 120 degree. And measure angle D, understood, you got 60 degree here. Dear student, please write 60 degree. Okay. So this is the way you can solve examples. Okay. So this is one of the important examples, understand, involving to find angles where you are utilizing fourth property of rhombus we utilized, that is diagonals bisect the angles through which it passes. You understood this? So dear student, today we discussed two examples regarding rhombus which were actually involving a lots of thinking also, at the same time some brain stimulation and checking the your basics. You understood this? How moved here? One of the diagonal is equal to side, so we mention AC, AB and BC equal, which turns out to be triangle ABC as equilateral triangle. Now when you say that triangle ABC is equilateral triangle, that means triangle ABC is equiangular triangle which has all angle equal. Angle B 60 degree, angle BAC 60 degree, angle ACB 60 degree. B you got. Now A is double of BAC, C is double of ACBC. A twice BAC, C twice ACB. So at the end you got angle A, angle B and angle C, and rest of the angle D, making adjacent supplementary pair with either angle A or angle C. This way you can find. Understood, dear student? So with this example today, we are already completing the topic of rhombus. Understood? Then in the next lecture we are going to discuss about some of the properties of square, and regarding that some example, and then rest of the variety of example which are given in this chapter. Okay dear students, thank you very much.